Good morning, students. So in yesterday class, we know that very well about the chemical properties of metals. Now in this class, the another chemical properties of metals we are going to discuss in this class. So that is first one, you know that very well. Metals are react with air to form metallic oxide, right? So that is the first property of the chemical properties of a metal. And second property, that is if metals are react with the water, you can get the metallic hydroxide and also elimination of hydrogen gas. And the third one, if metals are reacts with the acid to form the salts and evolution of the gas like a hydrogen gas. So these are the chemical properties. So next property, that is the reactivity series. You know that the first chapter, that is displacement reaction. Displacement reaction. You know that very well about the displacement reaction. What do you mean by displacement reaction? So if more reactive metal displace less reactive metal. So this reaction, that means a displacement reaction. So in a displacement reaction, there are two types of elements on the basis of reactivity series. One is the more reactive element, that means more reactive metal, and another one is less reactive metal. If more reactive metal displaces the less reactive metal, so that is nothing but reactivity series. So in the reactivity series, there are three types of reactivity series are there in your textbook. So there are the reactivity series: potassium, sodium, calcium, and magnesium, aluminium. Then after that, which one? Zinc and iron, lead, and one more hydrogen. So another one, copper. So another one is mercury, Hg, and silver and gold. So these are the reactivity series metals. So you know that potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium are the more reactive element. These are the more reactive metal. So zinc, iron, lead, hydrogen, these are the middle reactive metals. That means middle reactive elements. And another one, so hydrogen we cannot call as a metal, right? So copper, mercury, silver, and gold, these are the low reactive metals. So in a metals, we are going to categorize on the basis of reactivity series, on the basis of reactivity in the during the chemical reaction. So these are the metals like potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminum. These are the more reactive metals. These metals are reacts with any element or compound. So this is the more reactive metal. And zinc, iron, lead. So these are the metals. They are interconnected link between more reactive and less reactive. That means these are middle reactive metals. And copper, mercury, and silver, and another one, gold. So these are the low reactive metals. Low reactive metals means they cannot react with other elements or compounds first time will react but reacts slowly, but these are very crucial. These reacts with the other elements or compounds very crucial. So these are the more reactive metals. These are the middle reactive metals and these are the low reactive metals. That is nothing but a reactivity series of a metals, right? No metal. So if we can consider, so potassium and iron. So these are also metals, but their properties are different. So potassium is a more reactive element. So iron is a less reactive element. So both are belongs to metals only. It shows metallic properties. But whenever we are going to consider the reactivity series, so in the reactivity series, so potassium is a more reactive metal compared to iron. Is it clear? Whenever compared to iron to gold, both are belongs to metals only. It shows metallic properties. But the reactivity, whenever we are going to consider about reactivity, so which one is the more reactive compared to gold? Fe. That means iron. Is it clear? So this is the point reactivity series. Is it clear? Next one. Another one, metals reacts with the non-metals. You know that very well. If a sodium is a metal, right? So chlorine is a non-metal. So if metals reacts with non-metals, if metals are reacts with non-metals, you can get the compound. Which compound? Ionic compound. Which compound? Ionic compound. How to formation of ionic compounds? Due to formation of ionic bond. What do you mean by ionic bond? Ionic bond is nothing but it is the strong force of attraction between metals and non-metals with the ions, ionic compounds. So this compound is made by the compound, that means ionic compound are formed due to any compound, not only ionic compound. You can take covalent compounds, you can take ionic compounds, right? In any compound there is a strong force of attraction between the elements. So that is nothing but bond, chemical bond. So which bond? So here ionic bond is there. So how to create the bond between elements? Due to transfer of electrons and sharing of electrons. Is it clear? So here, so formation of sodium chloride, when metals are reacted with non-metals, we can get the salt, right? NaCl. So you know that very well, sodium. So its atomic number 11, right? Its electronic configuration 2, 8, 1, right? So this is the K shell and this one is the L shell. So this one is the M shell, right? So 8 plus 2, how much? 10. So 10 is the atomic number for neon. So all metals, all non-metals, that means all elements are able to stay on a stable element, like you know that there is an octet structure like a helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. These are the noble gases. So all the elements, they are going to make octet structure, right? Possibility octet structure formation are economical. Andra in the sodium 11 actually. So there is atomic number 11, but so 2, 8 already completed. Remaining 1 electron in a M shell. So this is the when the electron lose partner. So 1 electron lose by sodium, it becomes Na plus. So almost all you know that very well about the properties of metals. Metals are electropositive. Why metals are electropositive? Because metals to donate the electrons. Metals to donate the electrons. So that's why we are going to call as electropositive. But non-metals, they are electronegative because they are going to accept the valence electron. from the metals. So that's why their charge is minus. But metals is charge is positive. Positive means to donate the electrons. Negative means to accept the electron. So here one electron excess. So this means valency. Sodium valency 1. The valency of the sodium is 1. And another one chlorine. You can take a chlorine. So chlorine is a 17. Atomic number 17. So we can write the electron configuration 287. 287. So this is the K shell and this one is the L shell. So both shell is completed. So remaining one shell is that is M shell. So M shell. So in the M shell, what is the capacity? So 2, 8 and 18. The capacity of a M shell to filling up the electrons in a M shell, that is 18 capacity. So how much they are going to fill up? So only 7. Remaining are not filled because there is only presence of 7 electrons in a M shell. So this chlorine to receive the 1 electron from the sodium. So one electron is the sodium ಇದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಡೊನೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಡೊನೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ 1 electron ಇದು ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. So ರಿಸೀವ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಎಷ್ಟಾಗುತ್ತಾ 2 8 and 7 plus 1 how much 8. So 2 8 8 how much 10 18. So 18 the atomic number of argon. Atomic number of argon. So this makes the chlorine is stable. So the sodium to donate the 1 electron it becomes stable on a neon state. So this one to receive the electron from the sodium it makes a argon, right? It looks like into argon. So that's why so here there is a bond created between sodium and chlorine. You can get the sodium chloride. So this is the compound. So when metals are reacted with non-metals, we can get the ionic compounds, right? So another one example we can take. So you know that very well. Which one? Magnesium chloride. So magnesium is the one of the metal and chlorine is the another non-metal. And KCl, we can take KCl. KCl means potassium chloride. So another one zinc chloride. So this is the another metal and non-metal compounds. Is it clear? So you should practice these magnesium chloride, potassium chloride, zinc chloride on the basis of sodium chloride. We can learn about when metals are reacting with non-metals. We can get the salts. That means formation of ionic compounds. Is it clear? You know that very well. What are the properties of ionic compounds? So one is the that is ionic compounds are almost all ionic compounds are solid in state. They are brittle in nature and they are going to conduct electricity when ionic compounds dissolved in a water. If ionic compounds only dissolved in a water, they are not dissolved in a ionic compounds. That is which one? The organic compounds like petrol, kerosene, right? So ethyl alcohol. So these are the organic compounds. Ionic compounds only dissolved in a water, but not dissolved in a organic solvents like kerosene, petrol, and other organic compounds. So ionic compounds to conduct the electricity when the ionic compounds are dissolved in water, right? And almost all. And one more thing. So ionic compounds are having there is a charges like a positive charge and a negative charge. And another one important character of ionic compound. So in a ionic compounds there is a bond, that is the ionic bond. So here the strong force of attraction between metals and non-metals. Is it clear? So these are the properties of ionic compounds. So whenever the ionic compounds are dissolved in a water, so the compound becomes split down and it make charges like a positive and negative. So whenever direct current passes into the solution, which solution? Ionic compound solution, it will pass the electricity in a molten state, aqueous solution. So these are the properties of the which one metals. So this completes your metals portion and non-metals portion. So remaining, you know that very well. The concept are skipped in this year. What are those? The occurrence of metals and the metallurgical steps of elements. That means metals, right? So these are the concept skipped in this year. Only you should learn about what are the physical properties of metals and what are the chemical properties of non-metals and metals. Is it clear? Right.